All right, fine, I'll come clean. I really suck at setting goals. I never know how ambitious to be or how realistic to be. If I make the goal too challenging and I can't accomplish it, then it's gonna mess with my head. If I make the goals too easy, then even though I accomplish it, what good is that really in the end? I also can never really figure out the right deadline to attach to it. Should this goal be a 1-month goal, 6 month, 5 years? Who knows? I can never figure that out. And last but not least, I've really been known to struggle with committing to goals due to a shiny object syndrome. Essentially, I see other people doing things that are really cool and I'm like, oh, I wanna try that. Or I have ideas pop into my head and I'm like, man, that would be a sweet product. I should try to develop that. I should spend some time researching this. If you can relate to any of this, first off, you're not alone. And if so, here's a quick hack that I've been using recently to ease the pressure while remaining focused on what you want to achieve in any given year. But before we jump into that, can you guess what the word of the year was for 2022? Let's Google it. So Google says that dictionary.com crowned the word woman as its word of the year after a 1,400% spike in searches over 2022. The word was frequently searched as people explored what it meant amid the debate over transgender rights and things of that nature. That's pretty interesting. And speaking on the word of the year, this is my suggestion to you. If goals are challenging, pick a theme word or a short phrase for the year. Something concise that summarizes what you want the year to be remembered as once it's another chapter in your story. I'll share what my word is for this year, but let's talk about some benefits of picking a word of the year. There's 3 things that I have to share with you. Number 1 is focus. It can help you keep your focus on what is important and make sure that all of the goals that you set, the things that you work on, are in alignment with that theme for that given year. The second thing is motivation. It's going to give you something to hold on to and strive for. And lastly, clarity. This is going to make setting goals for the year much easier as you can easily determine which goals are in line with your theme word or phrase and which ones are not. So picking a word of the year, it will help you in the goal setting process. But even if you start there instead of setting very specific goals, it's going to help you maintain focus, motivation, and clarity for the year up ahead. So instead of struggling to set goals or failing to keep up with resolutions, try picking a word or phrase as the theme for that year. And this all started for me back in 2019, where I started doing some marketing freelancing on the side while working a full-time job. I had no idea what I was doing or what I really wanted to do in 2019, but I knew that I was desperate to leave my job. So I started going back to school for a marketing degree, and spoiler alert, I dropped out after 2 semesters, which is the second time that I've dropped out of college now. That's on my record forever. I also created an Upwork profile, which is an online freelancing marketplace, and I landed my first few gigs. So the theme for 2019 for me was try it. I know it's not a word, it's a short little phrase, but try it was 2019's theme for me. And then in 2020, after seeing massive opportunity in front of me, I committed to learning everything that I could on marketing, and I made a promise to myself that I would do anything that it takes to replace my current salary with freelance clients. And fortunately, I was able to leave my job towards the end of the year in 2020. The theme word for that year in 2020 was commit. So I went from trying something to committing to something. And in 2021, it was time to crank it up because now it was all on me. And with a wife and 2 little kids and a household to provide for, there was some stress involved with this process. So for me, it was time to crank it up. I thought all one-person marketing businesses are supposed to become their own little agency. So I started stacking clients the best that I could. I was saying yes to literally everything, which in hindsight made for way too much stress and a lot of anxiety. But nonetheless, I was cramming years of experience into a 12-month window. Then in late 2021, the floor basically dropped out from underneath me and I started losing clients left and right. And that is a different story for a different day. So the theme for me in 2021 was say yes. Take on as much as you can. Build your experience. Get paid while you learn. That's what I did in 2021. And so like I mentioned, everything kind of fell apart for me at the end of 2021. As I'm sitting with myself on weekday mornings in January of 2022, I was down to only a few pretty low-paying clients and I was full of worry. I knew that I wanted to be in marketing, but I didn't want to necessarily build this big agency, have a bunch of clients, and do that whole thing to become profitable. Client work was fine at best in my eyes, but I really wanted my business to be something different, something that I didn't need clients in order to survive, and even more so, to thrive. I finally chose to hire a business coach and begin the process of redefining my aim. Who was I to become as a marketing guy that would also satisfy my entrepreneurial spirit that I've always had? Products, brand, content, community. These all became the paintbrushes that I would take to the fresh canvas of my future business and my future self. The theme for 2022 for me was redefine. It started off bad. It was ugly. It was dreary. And through coaching and through a lot of just internal reflection and a little bit more of experimentation with what I like, what I don't like, and what I'm good at, I was able to redefine my aim and who I wanted to become. So now landing in 2023, I'm coming in with more direction than ever. And here I am. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 11:37 Eastern time. Hopefully you saw that. Recording here based off of the 25th entry of my M&M email newsletter and podcast, which I'm able to repurpose and reuse as videos here on YouTube as well. And 25 entries, that's essentially 6 months of weekly emails / blogs / podcast content that I'm using as a seed to sprout new opportunities and revenue streams. I'm still working with a select few of my clients to feed my family as I build my brand, my content, the message, and the audience that can build over time. This is the year of building. I've got big plans for new things coming this year, but I'm also committed to not chasing shiny objects, saying no more often than I ever have. The word this year for me is build. And in doing this exercise, looking at this quick summary of my one-man business journey is super useful. And in all honesty, I didn't really leverage this theme word exercise until last year, but it's easy for me to dig into the archives and pull a theme from previous years, which I already mentioned. But imagine what more I could have accomplished while avoiding unnecessary stress if I would have done this earlier. Kind of like Lego blocks stacking, you can see how the themes from each year piggyback off of each other. Sometimes the slightest little shift in thinking can get us out of a rut and back on track. If goal setting is tricky for you like it is for me, then start by committing to a theme word or phrase each year. If you don't decide how to spend your time, someone else will decide for you. If you don't have a plan, someone else will give you one, and it'll be their plan. So watch this video next to help you make sure you're not accidentally falling into this trap without realizing it. Until next time, peace.